when we think about healthcare, sick care, or how we are facing these challenges with the physical, mental struggles that human species are facing, the institutions have offered a solution to these challenging circumstances we are facing. The MAID program, or Dying with Dignity. There is a lot of controversies and discussions regarding these topics in the social media, but it's really important for us to have perspective regarding these challenges that really affect most of the population or majority of us, unless if we follow down a path for some kind of a substantial solution, healing, or figuring out what really healthcare is, and maybe take some of the personal responsibilities uh, in order for us to maintain a level of healthy style of life as long as we can. So it's really important for us to have these topics, not because we are all doctors, because um, we have uh, learned about everything regarding health and vitality. It's never medical advice, but never stop us for uh, diving in depth regarding discovering what is the health and holistic health, and how it's affecting our well-being, and the kind of solutions that we can come up with, because we have personal investment regarding these kind of knowledge and wisdom. So, as considering we all have to face these challenges, some more, others less. Regardless, it's an important topic that we can't exclude ourselves until we have awareness about every area and how we resolve these problems. MAID is one solution, dying with dignity, but it's affect us personally. And most important thing, the healthcare challenges really affect our personally affecting our mind, body, spirit vessel, and also the caregiving teams, the family members, and the social communities at large. It's really affecting us. Just because we don't have all the answers, but it never stop us having these personal dialogue. So it's never because we are not accountable for how we think and how we resolve problems, is because we want to have that open space of inner dialogue, and the kind of questions that I personally ask myself, and everyone have that entitlement. Although they say we are hackable animals and we're useless eaters, then it's really important for them to put us into these categories. We're hackable animals. It's not because we are feeling pity for ourselves. It's because they express the importance of how is the inner dialogue, inner thoughts, most personal thoughts are important for them clearly, and it should be even vital part of our life. So therefore, we need to unpack this by layers, and let's see what happens. And hopefully I am able to do a reasonable job putting out my perspectives, my thoughts as a human being, as someone who actually worked in the healthcare for many years. Not any kind of substantial position, but it's they are saying we're the most important, vital foundation of healthcare, the hands-on staff, but it's never shown with the resources and the even the kind of acknowledgement for the information that we gather by participating in these essential workforce. So let's see what happens. Now, when we have a second generation, the parents, they always prioritize the well-being of the offspring most of the time, majority of the time. This is the purpose. We all, the people who have children, they all want the best for them and leave them with a lot more comfort than the parents were received or was given. So this is the normal observation. So when we think about the second generation or the younger generation, it's reasonable educated guess. So then we are part of human species community. We are children, we are members of families, we are also members of human species community. So it's really important for us to have awareness about this. So when you want the successful life for the offspring, we have a reasonable educated guess, meaning we have a reasonably comfortable and safer human species conditions. So this is something that we establish now with the healthcare discussions. So if that's the case, when we are facing challenges in every direction, but most important thing is the healthcare factors. What we want to have is create most vibrant, healthy generations of children. This is the gift from the parents and the grandparents, and we're not just financially stable. We the most vital part is our health and health care, and we are thriving as the human species. But when we have unknown system, when we are not really have a very deep understanding of what exactly this healthcare means, we have to stop and questions, wow, is my priority is getting diagnosed for something and diagnosed again and deal with the side effects and the symptoms and carry on until I can no longer be mobile. Your mobility is compromised, your anxiety is sky high. It's not a really vibrant, healthy circumstances where then you are in a extremely decline, compromised mobility, or a mobility is no longer available or is not something you have. So therefore you have some sitting around and deal with these extreme conditions we're facing. So lack of mobility is make you stationary. It's extremely difficult challenges. If you're mentally unaware, like Alzheimer's of dementia or sundown or any of these other mental challenges, is a different story. You're still, I'm not sure which part is worse, but equally all of these areas are extremely disheartening and challenging for the human species to face. Now, when you have a mobility, compromised mobility, or a lack of mobility, inability to be mobile, these are really difficult circumstances. Then your bodily functions, your bathing, your nurturing, you have to rely on 100% from the external factors. They are, fortunately, there are some families who are either barely hanging on or they are organized well enough, well organized to face these challenges. But a majority of the time, this is not the case. So then you are extremely relying on external staff, the nursing, all levels of different nursing medical staffs to support you. Even then, we know in the paper, in the healthcare infrastructure, everything seems so logical, professional, and practical. But it is something so personal, something so spiritual, it's something so human, it's something so important. How are we going to deal with this when someone is 100% or even 80-90% relying on external systems to support? We aren't getting nurtured. It's a mechanical, it's a clinical care. It's really we have a really difficult time to support all the parts of our human needs. We need a little bit of nurturing, we need a little bit of caring, we need a little bit of compassion, we need a little bit of clarity, recognition. We really need all these support things. But getting there was also a journey. We can see that we are really high class society. We are thriving. We have options. We have democracy. We have all of these things. But when it comes to our health care, your mind, body, spirit can no longer hide. Things come to surface. We are going to professionals. Getting diagnosed is like some kind of a reward or accomplishment. Not to be disrespectful, but this is the kind of system we have created for us. We are extremely grateful for the critical care system. It's really vital part of our society. But when we are relying on these external systems indefinitely and about everything, even if you want to maintain employment now, running into these systems and getting authorization from these agents is something inevitable. So then we get forced into these institutions, systems, and we have to coexist. But when we know the power of good health, this is thriving, healthy ecosystem cannot be a dying ecosystem. Although we are all dying, it doesn't really give us the option to just kill yourself softly until you die, so you really never live. This is really defeat the purpose of being a human. Even if, as for example, in the animal kingdom, you know, the mating season comes, they have these quarrels, and they are finding the strongest partner or claim this right because of the nature. It's the vibrancy of the creation is really important task. As for the human, we're not excluded for these factors. When we are ill health, suffering from compromised health and immunity, we are not self-sufficient individuals. We know this for sure. When we aren't able to practice our critical thinking, our logical thinking, prioritizing ourself, our needs, our spiritual, emotional needs, the level of dignity we maintain, all of these things are factoring in when it comes to our health and vitality. So the purpose should be for every single person is to maintain the level of health and vitality as long as we can. So we minimize the time that we need to rely on external sources, factors, institutions to support us indefinitely for a long term. So also the question that we have is, what is the purpose that we are driving a majority of population into these stationary suffering, inability to focus and nurture ourselves appropriately, and level of humiliation is also included. Our most personal private things for us that we do, like the grooming, bathing, and the evacuation needs, these are all factor in. It's maintaining a dignity. Nobody needs any of these personal spaces, but when we become sickly and relying on external sources, these things are sometimes not optional, or majority of time. We need to factor these things in. So for me personally, I try to do my self-healing, a little bit vitamins and focus on things, because I have recognized emotional, spiritual needs, and how when we address what is internally we're struggling with, we are easily focusing on areas that is compromise, challenges, the healthcare limitations, looking after our well-being. So this is how powerful our ability to heal ourselves, because I really don't think being sick is a normal part of our existence. I really don't. Nobody needs to suffer needlessly, because we have systems that is created by forces that we don't really have any awareness and understanding and clarity about. So therefore, it's really important for us to protect our health and vitality. And the most powerful position to be in, when we know that we can learn to heal ourselves with the different like very easily resolve some of these things, like minerals and vitamins and nutritional deficiencies, and instead of going hardcore prescription drugs, we can easily find things without any kind of side effects, and side effects after side effects, and before you know it, you get consumed by a whole lot of add-on problems. So we have to take some time to recognize these challenging areas into our health and wellness, because living with dignity is important. Dying with dignity is something that the external sources provide you, because it's no way out. When it comes to extreme level of suffering and caregiving, and looking after sick, unhealthy, sickly individuals, and it's really difficult. It's like a rock and a hard place kind of thing. So although the idea is kind of horrendous and is not so human friendly thing, but we can really appreciate for we do this for some of these animals we have at home. We don't like they are suffering, but a human is shouldn't be so much complicated, but it's the same idea. When you have to know, when we are relying on external sources, who are these caregivers, who are these nurses? Although we have multi-layer of nursing staff. Some of them just designated to come and do your temperature and pulse and write a whole bunch of feedback in a medical clinical dialogue, using medical clinical dialogue. Is that an experiment? How is it helping the patient? All of these are important questions. They shouldn't be immune to healthcare, just included or excluded to the healthcare professionals, because health and vitality is really everybody's business. And how we come into these social challenges without having a dialogue, without having inner dialogue, without having the ability to express different perspectives is really not helping anything or anyone. It should be really dangerous for humans, really, human species, because protecting our human species health and vitality and the generations after is a personal responsibility, and everyone have to be participating at an optimal level. Just because we are struggling so deeply, so rapidly with the healthcare challenges, maybe external sources could be like, wow, so we're safe there, no one is paying attention to the level of deception and programming and manipulation really does go into these social structures. This is how we create a dialogue so we can have conversations. I see them mostly these women that who is able to heal themselves and relieve some of the systems. This is the most powerful position to be in, because we have dialogue with these people. Some of these caregivers and the level of staff, do we have who are these people? Are they your family members? Are they hired by the external companies or corporations to provide these cares? But who are these women? Majority of them are women, the essential workforce. But what is their life is like? Do they have families, children, household, things to look after? Do they have their own health challenges? Can you be 110% indefinitely forever in this professional capacity? Not most likely, because we have to know when how we create some kind of balance. For example, your health doesn't lie. How you're feeling inside is what is going to manifest externally. So positive thinking, if everyone, for me, I really enjoy for quite a few years my early professional life. It was very rewarding. You're making a difference and you really enjoy. After a while, it's really get to you. Sometimes you have these long-term clientele, but some of them really use this as an opportunity for you to have a different perspective and change your vibrational frequencies and trying to make sense out of these challenging circumstances. But the majority of these clientele, they are really having difficult time to comprehend this is a really difficult thing. I can't believe this happened to me. So there's a level of resentment and level of extreme anger, resentment manifesting there. So these individuals also does exist, and dealing with that indefinitely for a very long time is a really trying circumstances. And they we are still not taking some level of responsibility for our health and vitality. Now we are in a predicament that we have extremely bitter, angry outburst because of these challenges. So this is also another factor. So it's really difficult for any kind of institutions, even in the perfect world, to meet these challenges and these standards and all the healthcare needs. So then it become mechanical. It's something that we just really basic requirement for your human function. Then what happens to all these other factors, spiritual, emotional needs, and how do you prevent the level of anxiety? So it's even the family members, not everyone is equipped because of the busy, heavy challenges everyone is facing. We're barely hanging on, even if we're healthy members. So we really don't have enough fuel, energy to 100% nurture someone is in a really compromised healthy health and challenge health complications. So this is why we have to be proactive and rely on external sources, but we have to go internal and figure some things out about our own life, how we're facing our own life challenges, what we are doing to resolve our things. Remember, thoughts and things are the first thing that's manifest. If it go unattended, it's going to manifest physically. So this is not a secret. This is a basic common sense. It's never easy to experience all these challenging circumstances as a human being, but add fuel to the problem, have health challenges. This is where we really run into extreme level of compromise situations. But we have to go internal and look into the things that why do we have this obsession about getting diagnosed with things and force you into an extremely limited position called sicknesses, illnesses, ill health. And when we are no longer able to function with your daily task, it's something that's worthwhile looking into. Key word is this is never medical advice, but health and vitality is everybody's problem, everybody's purpose, everybody's need to have a dialogue and figure some things out, because a majority of the symptoms and the problems we can resolve rather effortlessly. We've gone through this. I've gone through it myself and heal myself in all areas. Is still working on, but it's not an impossible task. So empower yourselves and learn some things about what is really health and vitality is all about, and why do we have this need to rely on 100% from external business model to provide or give us tools to for optimal health. We need to ask these questions, have these dialogues, and it's important. I hope it's be okay, eye-opening thoughts that's coming into you, because a key word is your life is your purpose. No one is more invested in your life but you. So prioritize the healthy talks.